Hello, my friends. Boy, it's been a long time since I've seen you live. We're going to hopefully remedy that. I'm going to try and go live now on Tuesdays for the old, I don't know if it'll still be the Thursday throwdown or if we'll do something different. It'll obviously be Tuesday instead of Thursday, so it's got to be different in name anyway. But I'm going to try and do 2 o'clock on Tuesdays now moving forward because I miss seeing you guys every week. So today is virtual card class, and I started that again. Uh-oh, I forgot to remove the cat. I started that again last month, and we're just going to do some projects, and as usual, if you place an order in my online store between now and the end of May, you'll get the card kits that I'm using in today's class for free. Also, we still have our global scrap and chat, which I just launched last month with 2 of my stamping buddies, and you'll get entry into that group where we demo 3 double-page spreads, scrapbooking spreads, each month, one of us each. So each of us does a process video or some sort of scrapbooking video, and we do that every month. So you'll get entry into that group as well with a $75 order. So that's month to month. We are going to kind of let people stay in for the month of June. If you just earned it in May, you'll get to stay automatically. But we just want people to get in and to be able to see what we're doing, and we're kind of working out kinks. So that's why we're doing that. And say hello to Kitty, but she's going to get kicked out. Go on. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to turn the camera around, and I want to apologize for the background noise because I'm sure you can hear the traffic, and I apologize. It's way too hot in here for me to shut the skylights. So the one beautiful thing about this new studio is it's very sunny, very bright, but it also means it's very hot in the summer, and we haven't even gotten to the summer, so I already have the fan on. So I hope you don't hear a lot of background noise, but it's just crucial for me in order to be able to survive. So let me just go ahead and switch this around, and I think I am going to take a second just to toss the kitty outside for a minute because she's going to make this very difficult, as cute as she is. Oh, she ran away. Where did she go? Oh, there she is. Come here, T. Alright, so how'd she go? Sorry, T. Okay. She's just very needy, and whenever I'm on Zoom or I'm on any sort of live video or anything, she just thinks I'm talking to her. So she's very known for causing chaos on the stamp table. There was one time that I had ink pads open, whoops, and she walked right across a red ink pad and then proceeded to walk across my project. So we just need to be aware of that. So anyway, let me show you the projects we're making. So I'll show you the product I'm using. And you don't need the product that I'm using to do the cards. You can definitely use whatever flower, stamp, and sentiment set you would like. But I'm using these 2 bundles. Sorry, the words are hard sometimes. So it's the Pretty Florals, which is this one, which is it's just all flowers. So you most likely have something in your stash that would work. And then the other one is this one, which is where I got most of the sentiments from. So you could use a sentiment stamp set of your own. But these little bloom words and lovely words are really great for both scrapbooking and card making. So let's see. Hi, Susan. Let me show you the first card. So this one, it just uses the die cuts and the sentiment. So it's super simple, but pretty, very pretty. I love this one. I did use the stitched shapes, or I'm sorry, the stylish shapes for the circle die cut, but other than that, everything is from the suite, or the bundle rather. There is an embossing folder too that's part of the suite, which is where the paper came from as well. So there is a suite called Florals in Bloom, which is both of those bundles plus the paper and the embossing folder. This ribbon is not part of it. I just added that in here, and I actually might change it on this card when I redo it. I like the white better than the gold, so I think I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and start with the first project. So I already cut and scored a piece of cloud cover. This is one of the new in colors. So I'm going to go ahead and crease that, and we'll get started with our layering. So for this one, I'm gonna actually, I want like a little border around the edge, so I'm going to overlap this and attach it to the card that way. Actually, I'm not going to attach it yet. I'm just going to do, whoops, a thin layer of glue over here. I just did my order. I'm actually vending at a crop in Marlboro this weekend with Just Scrapping. So I just did my order for the weekend, and I was completely out excuse me, of adhesive. So I'm using green glue today because that's what I had. The good part about green glue is you can move it a little bit if you need to. So I just attached those together. Hey, Kate. So that's our first step. And then I'm going to just take the ribbon. Yes, that's what this is. Words are hard sometimes. And I'm going to just do a little piece of it because you don't need a lot. And then you can just tie a knot here at the top. And again, if you're just joining me, I apologize for the traffic noise. It's just super hot in here, so I need to have the skylights open. The little kitty that made an appearance earlier today, she tried to escape earlier because I have the skylight open. I have both of them open. There's two of them. And I usually only have the one right next to me here because there was no real access point for her to get near it. But it was so hot in here that I put both of them. I opened both of them. And all of a sudden I heard this noise, and the little stinker had jumped up into the skylight and was half out the window, which goes to our roof. So I had to close that one while we were not in the room so I could watch her. She's a little stinker. She looks very cute and she's very pretty, but she's kind of obnoxious. So, but we love her as much as she's a pain in the bum. Poor Nate, has not been, whoops, come on, move. Has not been getting a good night's sleep lately because she's started sleeping on his chest at night because he lays on his back typically. And she lays like right on his chest. And he's like, I wake up and I'm like, I can't breathe. One, he's allergic to cats, so that doesn't help. And two, she's just, I mean, you wouldn't think she'd be that heavy because she's probably, what, 10 pounds, if that? And she's just so needy. And he kicks her off, but she comes back. So, I don't know. Every time I woke up last night, she was on him. And I'm like, get down. But I try not to make too much noise because then that wakes the dog up. And then the dog gets on the bed and then we have a whole menagerie. But I think that's the life of having animals, right? Alright, so I probably should have moved this over a little bit more before I taped everything down, but it'll be fine. So I just used the Cloud Cover Designer Series paper, some embossed cloud cover, and then I put ribbon around that panel. That's my trick so that you don't have to put the ribbon inside the card. And then I just added a little bit of Designer Series paper. Alright, so next we're going to assemble our little flowers. So I already die cut everything just because it would take a while. So we've got the little stems, and then I've got the flowers, and I've got the little flower centers. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the flower centers. Now my nose is all runny. I'm going to try my best not to be sniffly because there's nothing more annoying than that. Yeah, it's a good thing they're cute, right, Kate? Because they can be a pain in the bum. She's like really, really bad with video. I have to remember to take her out of the room because, like I said, she thinks I'm talking to her. And usually when I'm doing, like once I started doing this live, she'll come up and she'll like rub on the camera, which moves the camera all around, which is not great for video, right? So and she's not supposed to be on the table. And that's the thing, like most of the time she won't come up on the table when I'm doing stuff. It's only when I go live or I'm doing a Zoom and I'm talking, because I swear she thinks I'm talking to her. So go figure. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive or glue, and I would use this Tombow glue for these little parts. Even if I wasn't out of glue, I would definitely still use this. And you don't need a lot. You can see that I did not use a lot. And I'm going to just attach these to the petals, like so, or the leaves, I should say. I love these dies. They're just so cute. All right, and then we can attach all of this to our circle. So I'm just going to add some more adhesive here. Okay. I hope my feed is okay. It's saying I have a slow connection, which I don't know why, because there's nobody in the house. Well, Alyssa's downstairs, but it's not like she's playing video games or anything. She's probably just on her phone. But, and we have high-speed internet, but I don't know why. It always says that. Alright. So I've just attached those down. And then I'm going to actually attach this with some dimensionals. So I'm just going to put 4 so there's no sagging. Plus it has to go over the ribbon, so I want to make sure it doesn't like get stuck on the ribbon and then move, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to stick this here. I guess I actually should have put it more in the middle, but that's okay. Alright, and then we're going to grab our stamp set, and we will stamp the sentiment. So I'm going to just go ahead and pick this up. And I'm just using hello for this one. It's a nice generic sentiment. I have a longer strip than I need. I probably should have done it off to one side so that if I messed it up I could use the other half, but I can always just flip it over too. And then I'm just going to cut this on an angle like that. Okay, and then I did use some dimensionals for this as well. So I'm just going to use a couple of those. And then we'll pop that up here. And then I've been using, where'd they go? Did I set them aside? Uh-oh. I don't know where I put them. I had them out. I'm using the In Color dots. Let's see. Now this isn't really that dirty, so I don't know what I did with them. They're not in here. Oh, bother. This is what I get for trying to be organized. But you'll get the In Color dots, or you can actually use anything. But I will show you what they are when I find them, but I don't know where they are. Alright, so I'm just going to use these antique pearls, which I love. They're actually currently not available, but they're beautiful. And they're one of my favorites. They kind of go with everything, because they're got a little sparkle and gem. If you can see here, though, I used the pink ones for the In Color dots, which I kind of like, but I don't know where those are at the moment. They'll pop up at some point, probably after I'm done. Alright. So that's card number 1. Before I go into card number 2, I do want to show you this weekend, on the 1st, I'll be launching my June card class to go. So these are the cards that I designed using the Sips and Celebrations. I'm not sure. One of these will be your thank you card, and then you'll make 2 of each of the other 4. That's how that works. And I usually package them up in a cute little bag, and you get envelopes, and you'll get the ribbon and some gems. So that all comes together and it's delivered to your door. There's usually a little treat as well as the thank you card. So if you're not on my email list, go ahead and make sure you get on that. I'll put the link for that in my description of the video too. And that way you can join if you'd like. so that you can get that notification. That, like I said, will be coming out on June 1st, so on Sunday. All right, so let's go to our second card, which I love this pattern paper, and I actually didn't show you all the paper. It's really pretty. It's actually right here. Let me show you. So this is the paper that's part of the suite, and I've been using it a ton. I'm actually working on a spring sampler for the crop I'm going to this weekend. And then I have these cards, the In Color Club cards, and this is also the collection we used for our layout this month in Scrap and Chat, in the Scrap and Chat group there. Uh-oh, I lost a square from my sampler, but we'll find that after. Oh my goodness, I don't know where it went. Oh dear. All right, anyway, I need to start going live again more often, because I'm very rusty. Okay. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Linda. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tape this pattern paper down. I think the paper is really, really pretty. I'm going to do a couple of cards with it at my card class this weekend, too. So if you're going to be at Sue Lang's crop this weekend, you'll see some more of this in play, too. I did a little bit of background stamping on this card, and I haven't showed it to you, so we're going to just let you be surprised by this one. I did use 3 different colors. I used Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Lemon Lime Twist for these cards, but for this one, I just need Secret Sea. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp these. I'm going to stamp off, though. I'm going to do 3 up there, and I'm going to do 3 down here. There. Okay. And then while I have the ink pad out, I'm actually going to grab the other sentiment I need for this, which is Where You're Planted. I feel like this would be a good card if you have somebody who's going through a tough time, because the sentiment says bloom where you're planted. So sometimes, because we can't control what happens, we need to just sprout and grow, right? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down a little bit because I want it kind of tight to the words. So I'm gonna just add my trimmer here and trim that down so it's nice and tight. All right, and then I am going to cut this on an angle, just slightly, like that, and like that. Okay, so now we're going to use a little bit of adhesive, oops, and we're going to attach this down to the flower panel. Okay. I'm going to put it a little lower because we want to put bloom on top, which, there we go. I'll set that aside. So now I die cut, hi Jolene, I die cut the lower layer of bloom using the die cuts with Secret Sea, and then I cut the top layer in the white. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach these together. I love these layered words. They're really fun, and they're great for those of you, both for cards, but also for scrapbookers. I think they make great titles. So I could see doing like a cute graduation page with some florally paper and the graduation photos, and having bloom where you're planted as your title, with a little encouraging message or journaling for the graduate. And again, you could make a really cute card with it too. Same message. So even though it's not your traditional sentiment, I think you can find lots of ways to use it. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead, tape that down. And then we're going to flip this over. And we're going to add some adhesive to this. And attach that to the card, and then we are almost done with card number 2. So card class consists of 3 cards, and like I said, if you place an order in my online store by the end of May, you'll get these 3 card kits for free. And then if your order's over $75, you'll also get an invite to my new scrapbooking group, Facebook group, where we share 3 double-page spreads each month. And I know we're focusing a lot on scrapbooking now with the new product lines, but it does not mean I'm not going to do cards anymore. It will mean that I will do more scrapbooking, which I was kind of leaning towards before all of this happened, just because that's where my creative heart always was. That's why I joined Stampin' Up! Originally, was because I wanted the color coordination for my scrapbooks. It just made it easier. And then as time evolved, I kind of got away from it, and it wasn't really a big deal because it was just me for the longest time. So I was like, I don't really have a whole lot to scrapbook other than the incentive trips, which I'm way behind on. So I just kind of stopped scrapbooking. But then Nate and I just celebrated our 4-year anniversary, and we have so many little moments that I'd love to scrapbook, so I need to get back to it. So, hey Marsha. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use these antique pearls just because I don't know where the colored ones, the in-color ones went. They're on my desk somewhere, I'm sure. I buried them, I'm sure. But these antique pearls work too. But I use the in-color dots here. You can see them. But I'm just going to use the pearl ones here. So there's card number 2. Super cute, right? It really just lets the paper be the showcase. So I love doing that because we all know we have lots of paper, right? All right, our third and final card for this month's card class, virtual card class, is doing more stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these off because I'm going to need those blocks. And we're going to set ourselves up to be able to do some 2-step stamping, which I love this stamp set for. And you'll see it makes beautiful flowers. So even though we probably all have too many flower stamp sets, this one definitely packs a wow factor. All right, so let me put some of this away, and then we can grab what I need for stamps. All right, so these I'm all done with. And then I do need the You Make Me Smile for the sentiment. Whoops, and this is how things get thrown away. My stamps that just fell in the trash. Let me grab that. All right, and then I need the flowers, so, and the leaves. So I'm going to need this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So lots of stamping, but it comes together really, really easily. And I love, you're going to see, this is like the wow factor. So I'm going to attach each of these to a block. I think I have enough. Maybe one more. Well, I guess I'm going to use a bigger block for that one. Alright, you just have to be careful. Alright, so, as I mentioned before, we're using Lemon Lime Twist, Strawberry Slush, and Secret Sea. I'm going to start with my green. And I'm stamping off on everything because I don't want it too bold. So we're going to start with this. And I'm going to stamp a couple of just these single stems at varied heights. I'm going to put one over here, like that. And then we're going to use this one, which kind of is multi-height, and I don't want them to really overlap, although, you know what, I did this last time too. I'm going to flip it over and start with this one. I don't want the flower to, oops, stamp off. I don't want the flower too far off the page, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to go back and do these so I can position them correctly. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to take the pink, the strawberry slush, and we're going to stamp off on the lower level, the lower layer. So I'm using strawberry slush stamped off, and that's going to go on these single stems. And you can see that looks really pretty just by itself, right? Well, wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. It's like an info commercial. It looks pretty now, but wait till you see the two-step. So now I'm just going to go over the top of this. And how pretty is that? It's like layered and has dimension. It's super cute. So I love this set for that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the last flower too, or flowers I should say. Alright, so with this one, what's nice is it's one stamp. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is I want to extend those stems. So I took the long end of this and I just inked it up and stamped it so it would continue like that. There you go. Alright, now we can do the blue flowers. Again, I'm using Secret C. We're going to start with the base. So you can see this one is just plain and this one has the detail. So we're going to stamp the plain one first. And we're going to stamp off. And then we're going to just sit it right on top of those leaves. And this one's still a little bit off the page, and that's fine. It's totally fine. And I'm going to do the next layer. And I love that you can do all three of these at the same time. They also get die cut at the same time, so that helps too. So it's kind of quick and easy. Even though there's quite a bit of stamping when you're building like a little floral scene, it's kind of fun, right? Now, I left a lot of space down here, and that was it was intentional. You could move it down if you'd like, but you'll see once I put the card together that I wanted the flowers up a little higher because I put the sentiment down towards the bottom. Alright, so where did my bone folder go? Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to just crease this. It's dark C is the card base, and I went ahead and did, oh, I forget what this one's called. It's like painting or something, but I embossed it first. And this is just a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel. I didn't put any ribbon or anything on it, so I'm going to just go ahead and attach this down. Okay, like that. And then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to layer our little floral image here that we stamped on top of that. Okay. Alright. Now, we'll just stick this here. Alright. It's a little squishy. And then we need to do our sentiment. So I'm going to take Memento Black and the You Make Me Smile. And I'm going to just stamp that kind of in the middle here. Actually, I'm going to go closer to the bottom because I'm going to try and trim it down a little bit. There we go. And then I'll use my trimmer. And I'm just going to get that as close to that K as I can. That looks good. Alright, so then I have this. And then we're going to use our scissors to cut a banner end on this side. So just slit in the middle. And then we're going to go corner to center. And corner. Oops, gonna corner to center. Okay. So then this just gets taped onto that panel as well. Okay. And that's just going to go right here. And that's why I left a lot of room for the leaves because I wanted those flowers to show, but I still wanted the blue to be mimicked on both sides. So that was why I did that. And then I'm going to pop this on with some dimensionals. All right. There we go. And take that off. We're going to just stick this right in the middle. Like so. We could add a little wink of Stella to our flowers if you would like. Let's do that. I did not do that on the original, but everything always looks better with a little glitz. And of course we still need to put some bling on here. So I'm just going to add a little bit. You do want to be careful of Wink of Stella because it can act like a watercolor painter and pick up the color and blend it or bleed it into other colors. So you want to be careful with that. And then I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool to grab a few gems. I like to kind of tuck them under an element sometimes. Put that there. And then we'll add one up here. There we go. And there's that. And again, on the original, I used the in color dots. So there's a little more color. But you could really use any gems that you have. So there are our 3 finished cards. Let's see which one you guys liked better. We've got 1 here, 2, or 3. What do we like? And again, these are free card kits with any orders before the end of May. So if you'd like to get these to make it home, either with products you have or with what I'm using, you can always just place your order in the online store before the end of May, and you will get these sent to you automatically. So then we also have the Scrap and Chat Global group. So orders of 75 or more will get entry into that as well. So that's it for today, my friends. Thanks so much for joining me for class. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. It's beautiful and sunny finally here. We had rain for a good stretch, but we have nice bright sunshine, and I have book club tonight, so I might go sit and read a little bit of my book. So I don't know if you guys have read this one, but it's finally captured me in. It took me a little while, but now I'm like, okay, I want to keep reading, but I also have lots of stuff to do for prep this weekend. So I'm going to be alternating between the craft room and outside, but I'm super excited to be here with you today. So thanks so much for watching. Oh, we got 2 and 1. So we've got one that likes this one that likes this one. I honestly don't have a favorite. Usually I do, but I really do like these cards. I think they're really pretty, and they're all different in their own way. So we love that. Just like all of us, right? All right, my friends, have a great afternoon, and I will see you all again really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.